Hello everybody, it's Wesley here, and this is the introduction to the first episode of the Gears of War Retrospective. I'm going to be taking a look at the weapons in this episode, and later episodes will be filled with executions, maps, and everything to do with the Gears of War universe. So sit back, relax, and we'll get started with the weapons. The first weapon we're going to be looking at is the smoke grenade. Now, from Gears of War 1, it had changed quite a bit to the other games, but let's get on to Gears of War 1 smoke grenade. Basically, the whole point of a smoke grenade is to create a dust cloud, which it actually does from the footage we're seeing now. The only way you can tell that it works is that if you walk back into it, but then you can actually see the enemy through it. So, for example, on this clip we'll be showing you now, I can't see him, but he probably could see me just because of the outline of the silhouette where you can see through the smoke. With the Gears of War 1 smoke, you could actually tag the grenade to a person. For example, this would do absolutely nothing on Gears of War 1. You can see a smoke trail, which is pretty effective, which was a brilliant mechanic in the first game. It was different, it was more of a diversion than anything if you wanted to get away, or do you want to chase someone like this. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the Gears of War 1 smoke grenade and its abilities. So here we go to our next weapon, which will be the frag grenades. Now, with the frag grenades, it was pretty much a weird weapon to control. From this footage you'll be seeing the distance that it won't even damage him from this distance, so we'll show you here. It doesn't even affect him, no damage, maybe a flinch, but that's it. So if we move closer and get it directly on him, that's the only way you can possibly kill him. Now with minor updates on Gears of War 2, they added a better radius to it, and then in Gears 3 followed it up with a massive radius improvement, which is sad to say the least because it gets to be more of a power weapon now than a frag grenade. As you can see, they didn't have the tagging ability like you see here. The only tagging you could do was on an enemy. So, for example, your enemy would be clueless. As soon as they get tagged, that's it, that's the end. You can't escape it. Moving on from the grenades, now onto the pistols. With the pistols, it's usually a weapon that you wouldn't consider using, like you wouldn't use a smoke grenade in a match. But surprisingly, these weapons are pretty powerful in what they can do and wherever you shoot them. For example, shooting them in the torso or the head with a pistol actually granted you a headshot, which was pretty awesome. But the sniper pistol had one fatal flaw in Gears of War 1. The beatdown was pretty heavy and ridiculous. For example, the clip here you're about to see is 2 hits with the pistol and he's down, which gives you a pretty easy kill for a game on Gears of War 1. Depending on how fast you shoot, you'll get them down pretty quick. For example, in the leg, that took about at least 2 seconds to get them down, which isn't a lot of time to get them into the down but not out position. The Boltok, designed from a revolver, basically is more of a powerhouse weapon in the pistol department. 3 shots take you down, which isn't that great because the rate of fire is really slow, even with an active reload. Like the pistol, the Boltok can get a headshot, but only takes 2 shots to get one. The aim is precisely like a sniper if you're no-scoping, but if you're trying to zoom in, it'll be much easier. So as soon as the locus gets up, we'll show 1 and 2 for a headshot. Moving on from the pistols and grenades, the Lancer assault rifle has been known to be the baby of Gears of War, no doubt Cliff Bleszinski's baby nonetheless. The innovation of this weapon that makes it look unique is clearly shown in its ridiculously gory execution. The push to include this weapon was tremendous and is now an icon of weapons in gaming today. The Hammer Burst has been a critical weapon in the Locust Army, no doubt, but in Gears of War multiplayer it's always been the standard pickup, with its 3 burst fire rate that could damage your enemy enough to get them down but not out in 2 bursts. The weapon changes throughout the course of Gears of War history, which I will be talking about in the next installment of the Gears of War Retrospective. Moving on from assault rifles, the Nasher shotgun has always been the pride and joy of close quarters battle gameplay in Gears of War. The weapon has always been a favourite to Gears players all around the world. It is the single most powerful weapon in the game to date. With its 8 shell spread, it can down an enemy from mid-range in 2 shots. That is if the connection is stable. The satisfying noise as you give someone is priceless. The boomshot is a tricky weapon to even think about using in Gears 1. With a lack of damage spread, it is quite difficult to kill someone unless your shot is dead on your enemy. The fact that if they roll into a shot means they will go down but not out is a factor that made the Gears 1 boomshot obsolete. The weapon only caused mass explosion but not precision headshots. The most useless weapon in the Gears of War 1 arsenal is the Hammer of Dawn. Its lack of accuracy was its downfall. The fact that if you even moved it once, it would restart the time process it takes to actually strike would completely infuriate players if they got killed while using it. The beatdown is nothing like the rest of the weapons. It takes 3 hits to fully down an opponent. and it had unlimited ammo and only could fire outdoors. That would put the weapon at a major disadvantage if players are all hidden inside on indoor maps. The tugboat, or as we know it from bots, are Therangod's best friend, is Gears of War 1's third favourite weapon under the Gnasher and the Longshot. This is a weapon that wasn't truly defined until Gears of War 2 with the addition of headshots, instead of purely having the weapon stick and nothing else. A glitch occurred in Gears 1, if you shot Rom, Therangod or a Theran Sentinel's cape, it would count as a stick, leading to a kill, something that wasn't removed until later in Gears of War 3. We finally move on to the final weapon from Gears of War 1, the Longshot. A fan favourite for some, a dreaded inaccurate piece of rubbish by others. Whichever way you look at it, the weapon is unbalanced. The lack of accuracy due to connection was an incredible nuisance for players, and the lack of a non-sniper lobby added to the lack of fun you would have with the sniper rifle. The sniper was based on luck if you were trying to blind fire, as in the footage I'm showing you how inaccurate it is even though the middle of the screen is aimed at his head. But the pop shot was more of a controversial move which they didn't bring back for the second or third game. The weapon started the craze of making sniper-only montages, and you would find most players going for a sniper than any other weapon. A major disadvantage to teamwork in winning a match because of the lack of kills you could get with it. The weapon was unbalanced for one factor, that active reload downs you in one. This is seen in the footage, what you're seeing now. Thanks for watching the video guys, and I'll see you in the part 2 with Gears of War 2 weapons. Thanks for watching guys.